Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Gemini, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Gemini, I hope that you're doing well. These readings are all about your beautiful and unique impact on the world and what Spirit wants to thank you for and acknowledge you for, how you are set apart from the rest. So I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one is the Healing Heart Oracle for the overall energy, and the Light Seers Tarot for your tarot portion of your reading. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Gemini, what messages for Gemini? Number 34, which reduces to a 7, corresponding to the Chariot card in the major arcana of the tarot. That's Cancer energy. Chariot card talks about moving swiftly towards victory, this mastery over the light and the shadow within us. This understanding that when we can pull together both sides, both aspects of ourselves, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the light and the shadow, we become unstoppable because we understand ourselves fully. The words are divinely connected heart, meet your karma. Divinely connected heart, meet your karma. This is such an outstanding image. This reminds me of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Reminds me of angels' wings. Such beautiful golden hues, which reminds me of the solar plexus chakra, the space within us that allows us to draw upon our self-confidence. It's where it's like our first brain. Right? They call the gut the first brain, right? But it's the sense too that you're connecting to spirit, divinely connected heart. And I mean, that might not be, I feel like a lot of the Geminis I know are have a very rational and intellectual side. But I feel as though now it's like you're using, not that you don't do this, because we all do this, but using your left and right hemispheres of your brain, and they're kind of merging. They don't act independently of each other. Right? I don't know what that has to do with, but it's kind of like using, left and right brain functions, the creative side and the logical side, putting aside any doubt or hesitation about the connection with the divine, with spirit, with your divine spirit. And I'm feeling, I've talked about this in other readings, but every once in a while when I do readings and I'm met with adversarial energy or resistant energy that is resistant to the message that I'm giving, I feel this very particular thing in my left. It's almost like somebody's like beating on my eardrum with like two drumsticks, like boom, 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 boom. And it's physiological, it's a physical thing, and it's uncomfortable. And it only happens. And the reason why I know it's resistance is because I've had it happen to me when I do readings in person, and I say something that the recipient of the reading doesn't want to hear, or maybe they want to hear it, but their soul doesn't want to hear it. Maybe they're open on a superficial level, but their soul doesn't want to hear it. So for some of you out there, this may be kind of a strange message. You know, but here you are at a tarot reading, but it's like, is it strange to you that Spirit is kind of thanking you for not only connecting to your divinity, but also you're not just connecting to it. It's like you're thriving in that energy. I mean, this is brilliant. A whole upper crown chakra is just filled with this dynamic movement, this ascension. But it feels fleeting. Like it's something that comes and goes, and you're constantly connecting and reconnecting to your higher self, your soul. Like maybe there are times when you kind of stray a little bit and then you come back to it, right? The head wins out over the heart. Sometimes you remember to go back to your heart. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base front, 3 cards for clarifier. There's no past, present, future. It's just a overall reading to see how Spirit is acknowledging your unique impact on the world, right? We all make a difference, every single one of us, in some fashion. You got 2 extra cards. The first one is Major Arcana number 12, the Hanged Man. This is Virgo and Pisces energy. So it is still within you, don't worry. It is still within you to remove yourself from the, what I want to say, pedestrian, which is kind of a snobby way to say it, but we're going to go with it. The pedestrian, or the simplistic, or the normal way of thinking things, in order to take a bird's eye view and get a greater perspective on the bigger picture. That's what the Hangman is all about. Hangman energy, getting that 30,000 foot perspective on something so we can see more clearly. Could be too close. It came out with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So it's like I said, we're in this fluctuation of head over heart. And Spirit confirmed it right here. Aces always bring new from the divine. When an Ace of Cups shows up in the upright, it's like, here is this new beautiful cup of love that's tailor-made just for you, Gemini. It doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. It could be new friendship. It could be new passion, creativity, something that really speaks to the heart chakra. But it feels like head over heart, head over heart, heart over head. Which one will win? Why can't we embody both, is the question. And I think you're trying. I feel like that's happening, but not without its share of difficulty. 5 of Swords. It's almost like there's a part of you that's like driving your own self insane sometimes with these racing thoughts. These racing thoughts kind of hovering overhead like annoyances. 5 of Swords, any of the 5s in the tarot are, for me, they're problematic because they're like limbo energy. It's the space in between. When we reach the 5 of Swords, we're at this impasse because we're trying to kind of gain the upper hand in a situation, use our prowess and our powers of strategy and our cunning to be able to kind of surpass the competition. It's usually a card of competition. But the issue is, it's not competition with other people. It's like you're in competition with yourself. Clarified by the King of Wands. You know, wanting to possess the power of the King of Wands, wanting to be so self-assured and confident as to which direction you're moving into, and then actually going in that direction, not doubting yourself. There's a lot of yellow in this card too. This closely associates with Leo and Aries energy. King of Wands knows exactly who he is. Divine masculine energy, though it doesn't have to describe a man. It's just the energy of a person who is very self-assured, sits fully in their power, knows who they are, knows what they're capable of, and goes after what they want. No hesitation. So this is hesitation, and this is no hesitation. And here we are again, because this card would really come from the solar plexus. This card comes from the crown chakra. It's like, here we are fighting, right? Here's that internal battle. That internal battle that I see. You are the sign of the twins. Both can be true for you, right? That's also what Spirit is saying is so wonderful about you. You can have a divinely connected heart and also operate from logic. The thing about Geminis is that you can rationalize anything if you put your mind to it. That's also what makes you dangerous. Yeah, see, here we go. Strength card in the reverse, number 8 of the major arcana, Leo energy, 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands. So, the Strength card in reverse. Anytime, you know, this is a mastery over the ego, the beast within, right? That thing that the ego helps to keep us alive, right? Because the ego protects us from danger, but an overactive ego can serve to alienate us actually from others, because we're very concerned in a heightened egoic state. We're very concerned with setting ourselves apart, proving ourselves to what we don't even know sometimes. When the card is in reverse, it's like there's some unhealed or unchecked parts of the ego, which we all have. You know, maybe it's this kind of yearning to experience a victory, right? 6 of Wands talks about victory. It's the minor arcana version of the Chariot card, which I've referenced here with the number 7. What does that all mean? It means in the material world, there is some aspect of yourself that wants to be acknowledged, recognized, rewarded, promoted, to be in the spotlight, right? And to create a firm foundation. 4 of Wands, also known as the 1111 card, right? And it's, Spirit is saying you can have this. I mean, for some of you, you might already have it. You might already have it, but there's a part of you that might think that it's not enough, right? And then that's when the divine comes in and says, who are you trying to prove yourself to? Two of Wands out next. This is a card of directionality. Where do we go from here? There's so much potentiality in this card. There's so many possibilities. So many, in fact, that it can sometimes serve to keep you stagnant, keep you still. Like she's not even standing up. Like she's not ready to move. Thank you, Spirit. There may be some part of you that is feeling slightly uncomfortable to step outside of, Spirit just said something prescriptive. I don't usually use that terminology, but seems appropriate here. Something that you were taught that you had to do, had to be, had to behave in a certain way. You want to move beyond something prescriptive, but maybe you're not quite sure what that is. What you do understand is the Queen of Pentacles energy, you know, focusing on your stability, on your resources. Ooh, I had big fluctuation in my right ear. And your spirit guides really want to emphasize that you've been focusing on your stability, which is great, right? But like I said, here, these two characters are seated. One feels very comfortable and one is longing for something more. Again, with the kind of opposing dichotomies that seems to be showing up again and again in your reading. I could see how that could drive your own self crazy sometimes, you know? You have to be careful because I just heard all things to all people, which is impossible. We can't be all things to all people. So at the end of the day, who is it that you want to be to your own self? Let me get a clarifier for these two cards. Can't make it up. Number 7, the Chariot card. Here it is. It keeps showing up. It keeps being alluded to, right? Victory, victory, victory. Now, Spirit is saying, Gemini, what if I told you your victory is assured, right? It's that saying. What if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do? Like that very famous saying, that's accurate. Like, what would you do? What would you do if you believed in your heart of hearts, in your big brain, Gemini, your big brain, that you could not fail? Not in an egotistical way, but in one that is balanced, that understands what you're working with within the light and the dark of, inside of you. As I feel it's like a little bit of tunneling in this ear, your spirit guides. What would you do? Where would you go? How would you do it? What would you say? How would you move if you knew you could not fail? This is the message from this card. It's just important to take a step forward. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm looking at this beautiful card, and I am hearing the theme song to the show Reading Rainbow. Okay, butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, The Reading Rainbow. Take a look, it's in a book that might be relevant to you. Is there a book that you're reading right now on manifestation or some kind of philosophy, theory? I see the Kabbalion, right? Who wrote the Kabbalion? Hermes Trismegistus. I don't know how to say his name, but I think that's how you say it, right? The laws of correspondence, and I don't remember what, they're like 7 of them, the principles of correspondence or something like that. It's been a while since I read it, but this is where we get the as above, so below, as within, so without expression, right? From the Kabbalion. So some of you might be reading that. Something about, it's in a book. That also makes me think of LeVar Burton, who is also one of the best characters in sci-fi, Geordi LaForge from Star Trek The Next Generation. I love that show. I will forever love that show. But some of you might like that character, or you might like that show, right? Which was all about exploration. They were all science-y, but they saw things that defied logic on that show. It was both. It was science, it was magic, all at the same time. Kind of like you, Gemini. We end here, 2 major arcana. The Death card in reverse, which is Scorpio energy, endings bringing new beginnings. The Phoenix rising from the ashes, that's what the Death card is all about. Understanding that certain things have to come to a close so that we can start anew. Clarified by the Judgment card, number 20 of the major arcana. Answering the call of spirit, the judgment call, making a choice, deciding for ourselves, what is it that we want? What is it that we are here to do? What is our life's blueprint? What are we discovering about ourselves? Like, these are the questions that you're asking right now. And you're asking something that is beyond books. I mean, they're things that are in books, but they're things that are just within the soul space, right? But this card is in reverse, so it's kind of like there's some things that you're working through right now. That pulsing in my ear started again, so it's been, I feel like for some of you, it's been a tough road to kind of, I mean, I know one Gemini in particular that it's just been like, kind of questioning all the things that you used to believe about yourself, about your life, and all of those things being turned on their heads. It's an ego death is what it is, and it can be very jarring. But when we experience the ego death, that's when we experience spiritual ascension. It's like we step beyond our ego and connect back to the divine, connect back to nature, to the oneness. Source energy, right? That's what they call it. Can I get a clarifier for these 2 cards? What are we deciding on with Judgment? King of Pentacles. I'm always telling people this, and I really truly believe it. Just because you're a spiritual baddie, right? That you speak to the divine, you co-conspire with nature and the trees, the sun, the winds, whatever, doesn't mean that you cannot experience beautiful earthly abundance. Isn't that what it's all about? We're trying to live our best lives here. You being spiritual does not mean you being poor. You being spiritual means that you are rich beyond belief, because what you consider wealth is different than what it used to be. Thank you, Spirit. You see? That felt right. Felt right when I said it. But there is a certain amount of material wealth too. When you get that material wealth, you put it back into the economy of life to help others. People who have spiritually ascended, they're not just in it to win it for themselves. They're in it to win it on behalf of themselves and others, their family, their soul tribe, their community, the world at large. They're using their natural talents and sharing them with the world. even if it just involves you being a writer or a painter or a musician, right? And it feels very insular at first, but putting that stuff out there into the world, you don't know how many people you're going to affect with your thoughts and your music and your poetry and your artwork and your inventions. Right? We've got like 11-year-old kids doing science fair projects where they're using music to kill cancer cells. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. If you are fully aligned with your path, then Spirit is going to not only open up doors for you, but they're going to reward you for your efforts. Things don't have to be difficult all the time. What is Spirit's advice? Four of Swords in reverse. Ooh, the Emperor. First of all, double fours here. Four of Swords in the upright talks about rest and recuperation after disappointment. Nesting here in our little cocoon. You got this card in reverse. Spirit's advice. Wake up out of that slumber. Wake up out of that slumber. Open the eyes. Release the veil. See through the matrix. Step into your divine power. The Emperor, the power of all four kings of the tarot. What? Divine masculine. It's like playing the game of life and winning. This is Spirit saying this to you. Wake up out of that place of safety. And it's like, go out there and claim what's yours. What's uniquely yours that was made for you, right? Your aligned path and your soul's calling. That's great reading. I'm really happy for you, Gemini, because I feel like, I don't know, it was exciting for me when it happened for me. And my life has never been the same. It really hasn't. And I wish that for you, for your best and highest good, always. That's your reading, Gemini. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Gem.